Kia ora. We're in the season of Lent, and this is a really good time to reflect on our faith, the life and the death of Jesus. These 40 days leading up to Easter, and particularly Holy Week, are really important times for us as Christians to reflect more deeply on our faith. So this is just a short video with a few remembrances of the time leading up to Jesus' death, with some practical questions and how we can reflect on our own faith and how Jesus' journey relates to our own. So the first moment of Holy Week really I'm thinking of is the Last Supper. Jesus and his most intimate friends gathered around for a meal. I don't think the disciples fully understood what might have been happening there. They knew it was a really important moment, but couldn't comprehend what was coming ahead for them. But one of the moments in the Last Supper is when Jesus washes the feet of the disciples. And this incredible act of service in his final days. And I wonder what Jesus was thinking and what his motivation was. And maybe it was just pure love for these friends that he'd journey with. Also, he probably wanted to teach them about service being a part of leadership. So maybe we can just reflect for a moment about someone in our own lives who's showed us an act of true service and what leadership is all about. The next moment I'm thinking about on this journey is at the Garden of Gethsemane, where Jesus is praying the night before his death, asking his friends to be with him at this time of his life. We know the famous story of they fell asleep and how upset he was. But we've all had those moments in our lives where we're just so distraught and confused and wondering what this is all about. Maybe we can just take a moment to reflect on those times when our friends have been with us in our hardest moments. They might have been human and not perfect, but they were still beside us. So let's take a moment to think of those wonderful people in our lives who are with us in our hardest moments. The next moment I'm thinking about is the journey of the cross that Jesus walked very much on his own, and also with people along the way who helped him. Traditionally we have 14 stations, but there's two in particular that I'm thinking of that I really love. And those two are the stations of Simon and Veronica. Simon, who didn't even really know Jesus, but picked up the cross and carried it for him for just a very short part of the way. And Veronica, who simply took a white cloth and wiped the sweat off Jesus' brow. Sometimes when we're watching our friends or strangers go through an excruciating pain, we feel so helpless and it feels like there's nothing we can do. But those simple acts that Simon and Veronica did, the most simplest acts of kindness, bearing the load for just a moment, wiping the brow, just that gentle touch that lets us know we're not alone. Let's take a moment to think in gratitude, to be thankful for those people in our lives who, for just that brief moment, made our journey a little bit lighter. And the last moment I want to reflect on, and the hardest moment of Holy Week, of our faith, of our own journeys, is Jesus dying on the cross. There were so many players at this moment. You had those dying next to him on their own crosses. You had Mary and John at the cross, those who were there and those who weren't there. Everyone grieves in their own way. Some weren't able to be there in the moment. They couldn't find it within them. And some were there to the very end. Let's just take a moment to think about a grief in our own life, how we ourselves grieve, people there supporting us, people they're not able to be there in that moment, but will show up in their own time. Just think about the community that's around us, who support us each in their own way, and the gentleness we need to allow ourselves to grieve in the way that we are capable of. So thanks for joining me for this Lenten Reflection here at Woodside Glen in Otago, Dunedin, New Zealand. Of course, the journey continues. We have Holy Week to help us to reflect more clearly, more intentionally on the journey we live daily. it's just good to take time to reflect on the good things and the hard things that we all encounter on our journey.